body bags were whore lies.
Who is this irresistible creature who has an insatiable love for the dead?
Hey guys, happy Thursday, this is your Fright Chick speaking. Okay, so this week's theme is PG-13 week, and I genuinely had to look this up because we don't have PG-13 here. I don't know what the fuck it was, at least not that I'm aware of. So I picked The Village. M. Night Shyamalan's The Village came out in 2004. It has extremely mixed reviews, mainly with the minority of people, including moi, liking it, and the rest of the fucking world hating on it. I genuinely don't know why people hate this film. I don't get it. I like it. I don't see what's wrong with it. Whatever. Okay, so I'm going to try and keep this simple. I will be giving away the twist. I will be going through the entire film, giving away the ending, all of that shit. I will hopefully, if I remember to, put a little warning right before I start talking about it in case someone out there actually didn't want to know the fucking twist at the end, okay? So I'm going to try and be a bit considerate of you people. Okay, so yes, we follow a very small village. I believe it's called Covington. It is around the 19th century, you know, that kind of whole ask your dad for marriage blessings and everyone's wearing fucking clothes that cover absolutely everything and, you know, all that, living off the land. Basically, I think, like, past Amish times. So yeah, it is a little village and that's it. Surrounded by woods. Now, the general consensus of the village is we do not go into the woods because there are creatures that live in the woods. And they are literally referred to as those we don't speak of. They live in the woods, they don't come into the village. We live in the village, we don't go into their woods. Because if we breach the boundary, bad stuff will happen. That is what everyone in this village grows up learning and passes on to their children. Now, the creatures in the woods wear red, and red in the village is a bad colour. So if you find some berries or a flower or whatever, you bury it because you don't want to attract them. And I think most of the people in the village tend to wear yellow, so there are like yellow flags on their side and red like flags on the other side, something like that. So yeah, that is kind of what the supernatural part of this film is. You know, there are creatures that are very scary looking. They look a bit like the Skeksis from Dark Crystal. So yes, that is it. Now, at this point, it's like 2 minutes into the film, we've already got a funeral of a small child. Because of this funeral, Lucius Hunt, played by Joaquin Phoenix, who is the son of one of the elders, there are like 6 or 7 elders, and we really only focus on 2 of the adult children. Ivy Walker, who is a young blind woman, who is like the most badass blind character ever. She's just fucking amazing at everything. And Lucius Hunt, who is very, very shy. He is a grown man, but he's almost kind of teenager-ish in the way he approaches people and talks to them. He decided that he's going to go and try and get permission to go to the towns to get medicine, because if they have medicines, then maybe so many people wouldn't die unnecessarily. They refuse him because he'd have to go through the woods. You're not going through the woods, forget it. But he has this passion to get to the towns so that he can help people. Now, the film isn't slow, but obviously the whole plot point is that there are things in the woods and, you know, they're there and that's just it. And we just kind of really follow the village around. It's not necessarily scary. It's more the threat of, are they going to breach the boundary at some point in the film, and are the creatures going to come and do something? This does not really happen. So for anyone that got really excited that that was the point, because that's what I thought when I saw the trailer, that doesn't really happen. What does happen is that we have a small romantic plot where Ivy and Lucius profess their love for each other and they decide they're going to get married. And Noah, who is played by Adrian Brody, he is a man, he's also a son of one of the elder couples, and he has learning disability, he has difficulty, he's very childlike. He is in love with Ivy himself, so he decides to stab Lucius because he is his rival. He doesn't kill him, but he is critical. Now at this point, Ivy's like, I have to go to the towns myself, I have to go and help him and get him some medicines. So there's a few bits in between the beginning and this point of the film. This is kind of the last half of the film, where there's actually a plot going on. But the only bits that are of any kind of supernatural or scary consequence are they ring some alarms, and Ivy's like, I'm gonna wait for Lucius. So she's standing there with her arm out, and you see a creature coming towards her because they've breached the village for like 5 minutes. No one really sees them though, but you do see the creature kind of coming towards her outstretched arm before Lucian gets to her first and pulls her into the building. That's kind of it. The rest of it is just the threat of what could happen by them talking about it. So don't expect a lot of action is what I'm saying. Okay, so we are now at the end of the film. I am now going to give you a warning. If you do not want to know what the point of the film was, or the twist and all that bollocks, just click off now, okay? So bye bye people, bye bye, I'll see you next week. Okay, if you're still here, okay, here we go. Let's try and cut this down to a couple of minutes. Right, Ivy gets permission by her dad, who is the chief elder. He then takes her to the shed at the end of the village where no one is allowed to go, and he shows her the secret behind the creatures. The creatures are not real. They are suits made by the elders that they dress up in every now and again to scare everybody into staying away from the woods. He lets her in on the secret, and seeing as she's blind, it kind of works out at the end because she won't be able to like tell anyone what she's seen when she comes back. She goes through the woods with her cane, and she does pretty well for a blind person because there's fucking shit everywhere and logs and that everywhere. She then comes to a wall. She climbs over the wall, and when she lands on the other side, we see that it is not the 19th century, it is present day America, and they have been living in a wildlife reserve bought by the chief elder. And she finds a man, or rather a man finds her in a car, and she's like, what is that strange noise? Because his alarm fucking siren thing went off. He's like, who are you? Did you come from in there? Yes, I did. I need this stuff. I need these medicines, please. He gets her the medicines, and she goes back. But on the way back, one of the creatures attacks her. It turns out to be Noah, who has been mucking about, you know, leaving fucking offerings and things that the elders have been confused by, because obviously they're supposed to be doing it. He's been doing it, and she tricks him into falling into a massive hole and kills him. She does not know that it's him, but she still took him out. She makes it back, and obviously everyone's like, can't believe she made it back, this is great. But the ending pissed me off, because she gets back literally within like 2 minutes. She's back, she goes to Lucius's bedside, and she goes, I'm back, Lucius. End. You know when the credits just go boom on the screen, and you're like, so does he die? Do they get together? Because I love them as a couple. They have great chemistry on screen. It was brilliant. And I was just like, okay, you ended it there? Wow, thanks for that. That's really pissed me off. Yeah, it annoyed me. So that is the twist. The point is that there are no actual supernatural creatures, which annoyed me slightly because I really wanted to be real creatures that were supernatural. There are none. It was just people dressing up in suits, and it is present day. The reason it was present day and that they were living in some 19th century village is because all of the elders, like 30 years ago or whatever, they all met at grief counselling, you know, like bereavement counselling. They decided that to have peace of mind and to give their children a better place to grow up, they would go and move on to this wildlife reserve that he bought and kind of create their own world, because the cities and whatnot were too dangerous. They've all had relatives that were murdered or died or whatever, and they decided to create it. It's a good twist, I'm not gonna lie. I like it. I actually do like the fact that it was present day, really, because I never saw it coming. I never saw that one coming. Yes, I will see you guys next week. Bye.